Oda. You start off this week's chapter 801 of One Piece, with Rob appearing. Oh my god, that's all you need to give me, and I am just... Rob is personally one of my favorites, and one of my favorite fights, and Rob versus Luffy was fucking phenomenal. I just love that so much when it came to this manga series, One Piece. And seeing him reappearing, like, it's pretty much might as well have been announced that it was Rob, because you saw the bird, has a tie. I'm like, yeah, that's Rob. Oh yeah, one thing I want to point out. The person that was talking to Rob was the man with the broken back, and was turned into a little bitch for Rob. That's what I can see here. So, that... wow. So, besides Rob reappearing, which, that's enough for me just to say, holy shit, great chapter. What else happened? Of course, bounties. Bounties have went up. And, likewise, this is something to really see what the threat is of individual characters. So, we get to see what the world government thinks is a threat to them. And, I got the bounties pulled up for I don't make any mistakes. Now, this is from Manga Panda. So, these could be incorrect, these could be correct. I mean, we know how translations are when it comes to Manga Panda, so it can be shit or good, it just depends. So, if these are incorrect, well, we'll find out when, Manga Stream has their translation out. But for now, Luffy's bounty is 500 million. So, it's equal to Law now. Law's bounty now is 500 million. So, Law and Luffy have equal bounties. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Zoro, he's worth 320 million. That is, holy shit, that is an increase. And then you have to where Robin, she is 130 million. That's a big increase. Not the biggest, but it's a big increase. Frankie is now worth 94 million, which, not bad, Frankie. I thought he'd be a lot higher than that, and he even goes along and stating, like, I should be a lot higher. I'm like one of the only crew members not to be over 100. What the fuck is wrong with this shit? Which I can understand. I mean, Frankie's a heavy hitter. You'd think he would kind of be higher than that, especially with some of the things he knows, but, oh well. And then the next ones is Usopp. His bounty is 200 million. 200 fucking million. Okay, I just gonna say right now, Sanji's is 177 million. Usopp is higher than Sanji. Now, go figure, Sanji hasn't actually even been around in this arc. If you think about it, Sanji, Nami, Brook, they've kind of been just completely absent, and along with Chopper, but I didn't expect a big, increase for Chopper. So, these characters haven't really been that big in this arc, especially when it comes to taking down Doffy. So, seeing Usopp surpass Sanji makes a lot of sense in a way. What's actually surprising is Sanji's jump in bounty. That was really high. He's like 177 million. Holy crap. And he didn't really do anything. Like, he only briefly fought Doffy, but that was barely any time at all. So, for that right there, it just goes to show you what the fuck is going on. Now, I will talk about Sanji more, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to Sanji. Let's get back on topic. So, Usopp is worth 200 million. And what I find hilarious is that his bounty picture is him when he's being raised up as God Usopp. Like, his name is called God Usopp on the fucking bounty. Oh. And his face, like, you see that one face to where you remember when Usopp is being raised up as a god and he was, like, bleeding and, like, almost completely unconscious? That is the picture they have, and it's priceless. Just seeing Usopp in this, like, I guess Usopp is pretty powerful. I mean, look what Usopp did. He rallied together everybody for this arc. And he kind of is the one that saved the day and made Luffy have an army. So, Usopp does deserve the bounty. I want to give him that. Now, Frankie's a little bit pissed, gets a little bit salty, and starts strangling Usopp. He's like, wow, the fuck is your bounty so high? Just like, yeah, that's great. Okay, so let me move on to the next page so I can talk about, the next bounties. So, the next one is Sanji. Sanji's bounty is 177, which I already said, so I'll get into Sanji in a moment, because like I said, there's something I really want to talk about. The next bounty is Nami. She has 66 million. Not that high. I mean, it's high, but not that high. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but as I already said, since she didn't really have that big of a presence in the arc, or this certain group, of course their bounties wouldn't raise that high. And it also makes you question how they got this new picture of Nami. Like, she had to be posing once again for this new bounty picture. Chopper, oh my god, it's adorable. It's just adorable, and it's offensive. It's actually offensive to see Chopper only have 100 berry bounty. That's offensive. Like, we know Chopper, man, if he wants to get serious, he can wreck some bitches, and only 100 is just like, that is offensive. And then, on top of that, you have it to where Brook is called Soul King Brook, and he has, like, his poster, his Rockstar poster shown, and he has 83 million. Damn. Good job, Brook. You know, I think he'd be higher, but yeah, I've already said the reason why. Now, getting back onto this, Sanji's bounty. Sanji's bounty, on it says only alive. You know how usually when you read the bounties of One Piece, it says dead or alive? Like, it's always on the bounties right above it? Well, Sanji's bounty only says alive. So, they're saying is, they don't want Sanji killed. Like, you will not get a bounty for Sanji if you bring his head. Like, you won't get that. So, what the fuck is going on here? This is like one of the first cases we've ever seen something like this, like only alive, and for the Straw Hat Pirates in general? What? Okay, so I have a couple theories I want to discuss here. So, I want to do, the first one's the obvious ones, and then I want to do the theory that might be some form of foreshadowing from Oda-sensei, which is not really that far-fetched if you think about it, but for now, I want to just talk about some of the things that this might mean. So, Sanji has a bounty that says only alive, and the picture obviously changed. It turned into Sanji's actual face. Maybe the world government and the Navy don't really know what Sanji looks like, since, you know, the face is drastically different compared to the original poster. Maybe they're not certain if this is really Sanji or not. Maybe that's why they have only alive, because they don't know if this is the proper person or not, because depending on if it is, they might kill the wrong man. So that might be the reason why only alive. They maybe want to interrogate this person just to see if it really is Sanji. And on top of this, too, another theory it could be because since, you know, he wasn't really that much around in the arc and they haven't really seen him much, maybe they don't really know for certain if he is a Straw Hat. Because remember, his original poster had a different face. So that could be a part of it. Now, past that, getting into the other theory, there is not much known about Sanji's past, so to say. Like, we know where he came from, but we don't know much about Sanji's parents. And I've seen this theory, like, this ain't my theory. I've seen it a long time ago. It was like a year ago. I saw a long time ago. I've seen in the past where there was a couple of fans of One Piece that mentioned that Sanji might be a prince. And after thinking about this theory, like, it reappeared in my mind after I saw this chapter, and I'm like, is it possible since Sanji now has his actual face on a poster? A wanted poster, maybe some form of king or someone up high in world government, like a noble, saw Sanji's face. They're like, hey, that's my fucking son. What the hell is he doing on here? Like, why is he a Straw Hat? And, you know, maybe this king or whatever was searching for Sanji for so long, and they finally found Sanji, and maybe the king says, like, I don't want my son dead. Like, I don't want him dead, put only alive on the poster. And I mean, if you think about it, a king or someone high class, like in the world government, like maybe a noble, might be able to change that up to where they could say, like, I only want him alive. I want him back alive. That could be a possibility. So, yeah, now thinking about it like that, maybe Sanji is a prince to a famous kingdom. I mean, there was certain things in One Piece that hinted at Sanji being a prince. Like, there's very subtle dialogue that says that Sanji is a prince. And take it how you leave it, that's another possible theory after this. Maybe Sanji is a prince. Hey, I mean, it doesn't seem that far-fetched if you think about the situation of the chapter. We don't know much about Sanji's parents. Oh yeah, and one last thing I want to mention before I end this review of One Piece. How do you all feel about the throne wars from Doffy? Like, Doffy saying, we are already amongst the biggest war going on. The throne wars. Clearly, Doffy has been reading and watching too much Game of Thrones, because throne wars. Anyways, pretty hyped. Great chapter. Cannot wait to see what next week has in store for us. And what do you feel about all the events that happened? You know, like the Luffy ship from Barto, to seeing, you know, Rob, to seeing Bellamy again that's alive and well. I mean, let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about the chapter with all the things going down? I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.